The homeless man I gave $20 every morning turned out to be the majority shareholder at my company. We often hear that kindness is its own reward, but sometimes life surprises us in ways we never expect. This is the story of how a simple act of generosity, giving $20 to a homeless man each morning, led to the most unexpected revelation of my career. What started as my daily routine of compassion turned into a life-changing lesson about assumptions, human dignity, and the true meaning of success. This isn't just about a twist of fate. It's about how our smallest acts of kindness can ripple through our lives in profound ways we never anticipated. The morning ritual. Every morning at exactly 7:15 a.m., I'd walk past the same corner on 5th and Main Street on my way to the office. Rain or shine, there he was, an older man with weathered hands and a kind smile, sitting on a folded cardboard box with a small cup in front of him. His clothes were worn, his beard unkempt, but his eyes held a warmth that made me stop that first day 6 months ago. I'm not sure what compelled me initially. Maybe it was the way he always said, "God bless you," to everyone who passed, even those who ignored him. Maybe it was because my own grandfather had struggled after losing his business. Whatever the reason, I started giving him $20 every morning. It became our routine, a brief exchange, "Good morning," "Have a blessed day," and I'd continue to work. He never asked for more, never complained, just expressed genuine gratitude that seemed disproportionate to the amount. The unexpected absence. One Monday morning, he wasn't there. The empty corner felt strange, almost unsettling. I told myself he'd probably found shelter somewhere, maybe connected with social services. Part of me felt relieved for him, but another part missed that brief human connection that had become part of my morning. Days turned into weeks. The corner remained empty except for the occasional passerby who'd use it as a shortcut. I wondered about him sometimes during coffee breaks, hoped he was okay, hoped life had taken a turn for the better. 3 weeks later, my phone buzzed with an urgent email from HR. Mandatory all-staff meeting tomorrow at 9 a.m. The majority shareholder will be making an important announcement. This was unusual. Our majority shareholder was notoriously private, rarely making appearances. In 5 years at the company, I'd never actually seen him in person. The mystery and speculation spread through the office like wildfire. The all-staff meeting. The conference room was packed. Employees from every department crowded in, whispers and speculation filling the air. Was the company being sold? Were there layoffs coming? The anxiety was palpable. Our CEO stood at the front, looking unusually nervous. "Thank you all for coming," she began. "Today, I have the honor of introducing someone who's been instrumental to this company's success, but has chosen to remain behind the scenes. Please welcome our majority shareholder, Mr. Robert Chen." The side door opened, and my heart stopped. Walking in, wearing an impeccably tailored suit, clean-shaven and confident, was him, the homeless man from the corner. Our eyes met across the room, and recognition flickered in his expression. He gave me the smallest nod, that same warm acknowledgement from our morning encounters, before addressing the room. My mind reeled. This couldn't be real. The man I'd been giving money to owned the majority stake in our company. The revelation. Mr. Chen's voice was clear and authoritative, nothing like the humble tones I'd heard on the street. "I know many of you are surprised to see me. I've been away from day-to-day operations for personal reasons, conducting what you might call a social experiment." He explained that after his wife passed away 2 years ago, he'd fallen into depression. His therapist suggested he reconnect with humanity in its rawest form, to remember what truly mattered. So he'd spent several months living on the streets, experiencing homelessness firsthand. "I wanted to understand invisibility," he said. "To experience what it's like when society looks through you instead of at you. To see who still sees your humanity when you have nothing material to offer." As he spoke, I felt exposed, vulnerable. Had this all been a test? Every morning, every $20, had he been evaluating me? The thought made me uncomfortable, almost angry, but his next words changed everything. The recognition. "There was one person," Mr. Chen continued, his gaze finding mine in the crowd, who stopped every single morning for 6 months. Not once did this person walk past me. Not when it rained, not during the coldest winter mornings, not even when they were clearly running late. My face flushed as colleagues turned to look at me. This person never asked my story, never tried to fix me, never made me feel less than human. They simply acknowledged my existence and showed consistent kindness. That person works in our marketing department. I looked you up after the first week. He smiled. I want to publicly thank you, and I want everyone here to understand something important. Compassion isn't about the amount you give. It's about consistency, dignity, and seeing people as human beings regardless of their circumstances. This company needs leaders who embody those values. The room erupted in applause, but I felt overwhelmed, tears threatening to spill. The private conversation. After the meeting, Mr. Chen's assistant approached me. Mr. Chen would like to speak with you privately in his office. My legs felt shaky as I followed her to the executive floor, a place I'd never been. His office was surprisingly modest, filled with photos of his late wife and children rather than corporate awards. "Please sit," he said gently, back to the warm tone I recognized. "I owe you an explanation and an apology. I never meant to deceive you specifically. When I started this experiment, I didn't know you. But after a few weeks, I realized you were different." He explained that most people who gave him money did so sporadically, often with pity or discomfort. "But you treated me like a neighbor, like someone worthy of your time. You didn't just throw money and run. You saw me." I finally found my voice. "I never thought it was you. My grandfather lost everything once. I remember how people treated him. The promotion." "I understand," Mr. Chen said. "Personal experience often shapes our compassion. That's exactly the perspective this company needs in leadership." He leaned forward. "I'm creating a new position, Vice President of Corporate Social Responsibility. I want someone who doesn't just understand community outreach as a strategy, but lives it as a value. I'd like you to consider the role." I was stunned. "Mr. Chen, I'm honored, but I'm not sure I'm qualified. My experience is in marketing, not executive leadership." "You're more qualified than you think," he replied. "Leadership isn't about credentials, it's about character. You've demonstrated more leadership on that street corner than most executives show in boardrooms. Technical skills can be learned, integrity cannot." He gave me a week to think about it, but deep down, I already knew my answer. This wasn't just a promotion. It was a chance to build something meaningful, to scale the compassion I'd shown one person to an entire community. The new beginning. 3 months into my new role, we'd launched 5 community initiatives: a job training program for individuals experiencing homelessness, partnerships with local shelters, and a company-wide volunteer program where employees spent time understanding the challenges our neighbors faced. Mr. Chen often joined me on these initiatives, and I watched him connect with people with the same genuine warmth I'd witnessed on that street corner. He'd been back to living on the streets twice more since our first meeting, never for long, but enough to stay grounded. "Wealth isn't the problem," he told me once. "Isolation from reality is. When you forget what it's like to be invisible, you forget how to see others." Our programs became models for other corporations, but more importantly, they changed our company culture. Employees who volunteered returned different, more grateful, more aware, more human. The ripple effect of kindness, it turned out, extended far beyond $20. The lessons that changed everything. Those 6 months of giving $20 taught me lessons no business school could provide. I learned that assumptions blind us to reality, that the person we dismiss might hold the key to our future. I discovered that consistency matters more than grand gestures. Showing up daily builds trust that occasional generosity never can. Most importantly, I learned that kindness isn't transactional. I didn't help that man on the corner expecting anything in return, and that's precisely why it mattered. The moment we do good deeds for reward, they lose their transformative power, both for the receiver and the giver. Mr. Chen's experiment taught our entire company that success without compassion is hollow. Real leadership means seeing people, truly seeing them, regardless of their circumstances or what they can offer us. It means recognizing that today's homeless person could be tomorrow's colleague, mentor, or friend, not because of some dramatic revelation, but because every human being deserves dignity and recognition. The corner where we first met is now home to our company's first community resource center. And every morning at 7:15 a.m., instead of one person showing kindness, there are dozens, employees, volunteers, and community members building connections that change lives. That's the real reward, not career advancement, but knowing that one small act of daily compassion sparked a movement that continues to grow.